we got to talk about Colorado for a second. First of all, if you have Spotify, Apple Music, or I guess just to go to YouTube, you got to go listen to Case 63. It's an audio drama, although they don't call them that anymore. They just call them a podcast, which is kind of bullshit because, you know, look, Fantasia is a movie. So is a Serbian film. But they don't have anything in common. So would you really group them together? Do audio dramas, narrative content, you know, done in old-time radio fashion with sound design and music. Should that really be grouped in with Joe Rogan? Or something, you know, some better podcast like Blind Boy. Anyhow, go listen to Case 63. It really took me for a ride. To the extent that I need to go read about the ending on the internet tonight because my brain can't handle it. It's very open-ended and leaves you asking questions. It's really fantastic though. And it's the only modern audio drama I've listened to that has real actors in it. So it had Julianne Moore and Oscar Isaac. Case 63 is what it was called. 10 episodes long. They're like 10 to 12 minutes each. Really good. Alright, like back to the title of this video. Why I don't like Colorado. Alright, I'm just gonna get into it. You know how people make these videos on YouTube? Why I hate this place, why I love that place. The 10 best things about this place. Mine's gonna be a little different because mine is stupid. Okay? Let's just get into it, like I said. What the fuck with the roundabouts? You try to get off the freeway. You try to get off the fucking 70 freeway. And it's fucking non-stop roundabouts. The whole goddamn city or town, the village, whatever, is comprised of nothing but roundabouts. What are you gonna do with that? You're never gonna be in the... Is the road icy? You're never gonna be in the correct lane. And you're gonna feel bad because you fucked somebody over. You're trying to get... I don't even know where I'm going. Do I go here? Do I go there? Where's the gas station? I saw the sign for the Starbucks, but now that I've gone through 3 roundabouts, I can't find it. And meanwhile, the guy next to you is like, you motherfucker, that lane is for going all the way around to that one, not there. And I'm a pretty good driver, okay? My driving record, damn, this truck is pissed at me, and I'm not sure why. What the fuck did I do? We'll get to that in a second. That's another part of Colorado I don't like, is the road warriors, okay? So, you get off the freeway, and it's just these fucking roundabouts. They're confusing. And I come from Michigan, where we got plenty of roundabouts. And they got some in Utah, too. I live by some, okay? Not so much in New York. New York was like, nah, we're not fucking doing that. They're like, these fucking roundabouts. This is kind of cool that all of a sudden the sun is gone in Colorado because you're between mountains. We'll get into the mountains in a second, too. So we heard about the roundabouts. They suck. You get off the road, you can't figure out where to go, and it's hard to be a good driver and stay in the correct delineated roundabout lane, okay? Problem number 2, the exits off the 70. And look, I realize Colorado is a very big state, and I'm exclusively talking about my problems with the 70, but whatever. That's my experience of Colorado, okay? So you get off the freeway because you saw a sign that said Starbucks and you're drinking coffee, or Shell gas station, and you fucking get off, and as you're looking for which direction to go, you see, there it is, there's the sign for the Shell gas station, 2.8 miles that way, and it's like, motherfucker, I'm on a road trip, got a lot of driving to do. You know, I mean a lot of driving. Construction, fucking everywhere. There's another thing. Constant construction. But yeah, you get off the freeway and you think you're going to take a piss, maybe you're going to do a duty, maybe you're going to buy a coffee, and then 2.5 miles this way. And it's like, fuck, I'm not in the habit of tagging an additional leisurely 5 miles onto this fucking trip. I'm trying to fucking go. And I say that as somebody who's not necessarily in a rush for road trips. Like this morning, for example, I was lifting weights, you know, as I got my shit together. Because you don't have to skip the weights just because you're itching to get on the road. You know, what about living in the moment? But I do, as a rule, of course, naturally try to avoid taking exits where I'm going to have to fucking drive into some town that's miles away. That's common sense, right? Do I need to explain that even? So that's another problem with Colorado. The fucking construction on the roads, do they have a water main break every 10 miles? Whoa, this bird is asking for death. Jesus, I had to hit the gas pedal. Excuse me, the brake. Construction everywhere, slowing you down. I know that's a Midwest complaint. Michigan is notorious for it. So there's that. Let's talk about the mountains, okay? When I'm thinking about moving here, right? Part of what a deterrent for me to not move in the winter, like, look, moving in the winter sucks anyhow, but if you're trying to fucking drive a U-Haul truck through the Rockies on the 70 or, you know, anywhere where it's like that, that shit becomes not only scary, but legitimately a little bit dangerous, you know? So these fucking mountain hills, what can I really say about them beyond that? And then you're driving a normal car and you go through these mountains and the speed limits. All right, that's not even a good complaint. Next, the road warriors. Look, Utah has some asshole drivers, and according to some bullshit article from, I think, Yahoo News, Utah has the worst drivers in the nation. I don't know what that statistic is based on, but I would frankly believe it. It's a place where they love tailgating you shamelessly. Perhaps if you've watched my videos, you've heard me talk about the difference between New York and LA drivers. Namely that the New York drivers are aggressive and filled with hatred and impatience, and if you don't get over, that is not okay, and they will fucking ride your ass till kingdom come, until you have no choice but to get over because you're scared. LA, they tailgate you for a second, observe the fact that you're not moving, and they just dip out and pass you. They don't give a fuck. Certain tenacity to fucking New Yorkers. Here, I can't say that I've been driving on regular roads enough to be tailgated, but I've had some wild fucking experiences on their freeways. And it's because they have some fucking yahoos driving here. And look, I don't get the culture. We'll get into that in a second too, but there's some fucking hillbilly hick. What is this? Is one lane now, you've decided? There's some hillbilly hick shit here, and every state has that to a degree, including California and New York. But it's different out here, you know. I'm going to go ahead and just arbitrarily attribute that to ski bum culture and drug culture and hippie culture in Colorado, which, as far as I can tell from my observations, is alive and well. But I've been, like, tailgated before on some, like, candy cane, Joyride kind of shit. Did that joke register? You know, the movie Joyride, where they're like, candy cane. Joyride was fun for what it was. I'd give it another spin. But I've had some really disturbing experiences where you get tailgated, and that's not all. They're on you tailgating, they're next to you, flipping you off, grinning, making sure that you see it, and then cutting you off. Like, pretty disturbing shit when you're just on the road on your own. You know? There's that. Is there anything else I don't like about Colorado? I don't know enough about it, but okay, I have more. Every fucking gas station, every eatery that you stop at off the freeway is going to be criminally understaffed, which I know is a bit of a national problem right now. Thank you, COVID-19 lockdowns and pandemic insurance and pandemic unemployment and so on, which I guess I understand to some extent. But it's just, you just go to any fucking thing. Like right now, it was just a coffee shop, some fucking coffee shop, and I had a feeling I shouldn't go in there. Sometimes I'm like, well, let me not listen to that feeling. Great idea most times, right? And I was just fucking standing there, and this guy was just making the food, and he kept looking at me, and he kept looking around like, where's the rest of the staff? I'm pretty patient in a lot of ways. When it comes to standing in line at a place where there's people going in to buy shit, I'm not patient. Well, I am, but if it's not staffed or it's really poorly staffed, I mean, come on. There's a threshold that gets crossed of absurdity. And I crossed that threshold just now, twice. The second one, though, I didn't have to endure the line because I was only going to make a duty. And so I stopped at the Shell gas station and I was going to make a duty, and I saw something that just looked like a joke. It was just people standing there from the cash register all the way back to the beer cooler. Okay? And who can explain it? Is it an understaffing issue? And I'll tell you something else. You think, oh, well, there's a lot of people getting off the freeway. No. This was a situation where I got fucked 3 miles down the road to have to get to this fucking gas station because it happened like 3 times in a row. And I was like, I'm not getting off another exit. I will drive the 3 miles to this fucking little village. And in this village, the Shell's gas station, which had like 3 pumps, was fucking just packed from register all the way to the back of the store. So there's another thing I don't like about Colorado. What the fuck? Get some fucking cashiers. What? I know I've heard about that fucking crisis for at least 2.5 years now about can't get enough employees, can't keep employees. They're making more money from the unemployment than they are from the shitty wage job. And I know it's not as easy as, well, pay more, right? I know it's not as easy as, start offering more money, change the federal interest rates, and so on. I know it's not that simple, but in my mind it is. Other than that, I gotta say, it's kind of a pretty state. And let me just say this, okay? Vibe-wise, I've always, it's all these ski towns and college towns, hippie towns, which is kind of cool in its own right, and usually hippie towns are pretty interesting. Hashtag, what's that town in California? Fuck. I mean, that's a lot of them, but I'm thinking specifically of one. It starts with the G. Guerneville. Hashtag Guerneville, California. Fuck, what the fuck? Hashtag Bar Harbor, New York. I know Bar Harbor is more complex than being a hippie town. That's not even fair, but hashtag Ferndale, New York. Hashtag Woodstock, New York. And so on. The list goes on. You know about hippie towns. So they have that vibe here, but it doesn't really work for some reason. What's going on? I can't fucking see. So it's I appreciate that they have health food culture. Sorry to be lame, but eating good food matters to me. So here's one thing is interesting Colorado. And as I'm looking right now, it's beautiful. I'm seeing I'm not going to turn the camera around because that's going to involve ripping it off the fucking dash. Oh, that's why I can't see, because I'm talking. Okay. Defroster engaged. Beep. I'm looking at these beautiful pine trees that just seem to go on forever. And that's really pretty. So here's one interesting thing. It doesn't matter what fucking town you pull off in Colorado, off the 70 at least. And I'll say this has been true of places in Nevada and California. It just doesn't matter where you get off. There's some fucking transient. Let me be careful here. I'm not trying to talk shit about transient homeless people. But there's some fucking transient guy with dreads who's gonna fucking come talk to you and ask you, he doesn't need money, but he's wondering if you could just give him some gas. And that happened in Utah before I left. This woman came up to me and she was like, I don't need money. And I was like, I can't hear you. It's fucking loud here. And she came up, she's like, I don't need money, I just need gas. And in my mind, I was like, well, guess what, bitch? You came to the fucking right place. We're at a gas station. This is where you get it. But she was asking me to give her gas. And I just looked at the pump, which said $57. I just said, sorry, I got my own problems to deal with here. Oh, you don't want to help her? Hey, fuck you, pal. Look, okay? I got my fucking donations. I don't fucking talk about them. Okay? You want to know about them? I'm not going to get specific. I'll just tell you I have some prisoners that I support, and I have some animal rights organizations that I support. And occasionally I help support an individual too. Or two. An individual or two. Yeah, take note, okay? If you're still watching, take note that if you're in a fucking scrape, you tell me you're in a scrape, I'm in trouble, because I can't say no if it's an amount of money that's under $100, and you're not somebody who I've already learned to distrust or something. It's hard to say no if you have an extra $100, Here it is, another one of these fucking ski towns. Where the fuck do they actually ski at? I mean, that'd probably be a blast. I mean, that place looks like, do they fucking ski down that? I think you would die if you tried it. So anyhow, Colorado, it doesn't matter which fucking exit you pull off of. There's some fucking guy with dreadlocks, just some transient guy wandering around who's going to come talk to you. And I'm not even complaining about it. That's part of its charm. But here's the thing, vibe-wise, right? Most states I go to, and I'm including places like fucking Oklahoma and Kansas in this. Most places that I've gone to, I'm sort of undecided as to whether or not I would live there. And the idea of living there and setting up shop and figuring it out, basically breaking the city, right? Figuring out how to live there and do your thing is interesting and exciting to me. I gotta say, you know, New York's kind of out of the running, or New York City at least is out of the running for me now. So is California, mostly for financial and gun control purposes, which I haven't shot in a while now. But come on, you can't tell me I can't have a gun. I keep thinking about, it's like this sick game. I'm going to talk about the shootings for a split second, okay? Every fucking time they have a school shooting, people are on Facebook talking about guns. And the one I saw most recently that really stuck with me was Angela Wingrove, which there's a 0.00% chance she's watching this. Who is she? She's in Hectic Knife. At the end, she's the waitress at the party who does the impression of Piggly Doctor, if I'm remembering right. And she, she made a post. I think she changed her profile picture to a picture right after, not Uvalde, but Tennessee. Wasn't there just shooting? Oh yeah, and they got in trouble for saying that, she was transgender. Sorry, I'm saying that right. It's transgender, not transgendered. Anybody who's watching who doesn't know, I have been told that by the PC crowd that I'm not in the PC crowd, that the correct way to say that is a transgender woman or man, not transgendered, because it's not something that happened. This is what I've been told, okay? So anyhow, they got in trouble for talking about the girl being a trans girl. The fuck was I saying? Yeah, so after that happened, Angela Wingrove has this post, and it's just like, it's really stuck with my mind, so I got props for having an effective picture. It just said, "It is the guns. It is the guns." And it was like small text expanding out into a triangle. And it just said, "It is the guns. It is the guns." And I saw it, and I was like, fair play to you for having a pretty provocative thing for anybody who likes guns and, dare I say, has a different perspective than her about them. A different perspective than anybody in the anti-gun crowd, okay? It's not the guns. It's just not. I'm sorry. And we're not supposed to, and I didn't want to start talking about guns, but it's like, it would obviously be a foolish thing to actually believe and to say that guns are not a factor in the equation of school shootings and shootings in general. That's patently true that they are part of it, of course. It's just like, they didn't have school stabbings, so can we speculate that if that was going to start happening at a certain point and we didn't have guns, that there would be school stabbings? I don't really know. And granted, a gun is different. They love talking about the fucking musket. The Second Amendment was fucking written when they were using muskets, that you had to reload. If you ever fucking say that to me, I've had at least 2 people say that to me, and I'm like, oh my god, please have a fucking original thought about the topic. And if not, tell me that this was a thing you read and that is very popular and that you agree with. Because it rubs me the wrong way when people fucking just adopt that shit as their own, and it's like, what do you think though? I know that's what fucking whatever news reporter said. Okay, we're getting too deep into the guns here. I didn't want to. I just saw a thing that says, "It is the guns, it is the guns," and I was like, does anybody have a fucking thing that said it is the parenting, it is the societal pressure, it is the isolation resultant from social media addiction, it is the single parent families, it is the fucked up world that we live in that doesn't offer you a fucking solution to anything, and so on. You know what I mean? It's like, for Angela Wingrove's thing to have been really accurate, it really should have said, like, it is related to the guns, or it's partially the guns. Obviously, that'd be a stupid meme and you wouldn't have that, but just this idea that, I guess if they banned, what would that even look like? God, banning the sale of AR-15s, AK-47s, fine. And then what? It's not like there aren't enough of them. I mean, the fucking amount of guns that they have here is really crazy. And I'm not talking about Colorado or Utah. But Utah, last I checked it, that's like 6.7 something guns per household, which is 65. All right, I'll slow down, baby. It's all good. I'm getting too deep into the guns, like I said, but obviously a hot button topic that people want to discuss and they want to see some change. I guess I just wanted to say the gun we're coming for your AR-15 and all that. It's all just the same shit. It's all just news rhetoric. It's stuff to get people pumped up and distracted from. I'm not even sure what anymore. The economy, World War III, the fact that we talk about nuclear war like it's not a big deal, the impending fucking doom, the potential, how about this one? How about the fucking long-term, this is serious shit, the long-term health effects on your heart and your body from COVID-19, which is fucking disturbing. Okay? I say that as someone who didn't get vaccinated. You would have to fucking tie me down and inject me to have got me to take that vaccine. Oh, I'm an anti-vaxxer. Come on. I'm just talking about my own body, alright? I know that's another hot button topic, but shut up. Just shut up already. So anyhow, there's some ambiguity, to put it lightly, about the vaccine, the fucking creation of it, the truth about it, the side effects of it. And I know people get up in arms about it because they're like, you're endangering my child, measles, and all this. You're anti-science. I'm not anti-science, I'm the opposite. But you can't just call me anti-science, you know? I'm sorry, can we have a very transparent look at the origins of COVID-19? Can we have a very transparent look at the vaccine and all that was involved? Which, if you don't want to get too conspiratorial, you can't disagree with the amount of fucking money that those motherfuckers made. Who are they? Who are the motherfuckers? God, who's fucking came up with mRNA, Moderna, RNA, I used to know a little more about this topic. I haven't thought about it in a while. So, back to what I was saying. Distraction from what? How about the long-term health effects from COVID-19, which is really scary and is quite ambiguous still. They're still finding out, but it appears that long-term it fucks you up in ways that are not even totally understood yet. But that's a scary thing. What if you got the flu and then it fucked up your health for the rest of your life? That's disturbing. So anyhow, we were done with that. We were talking about Colorado. I started talking about guns? Why? I have no idea. I do remember now. Because I was saying California and New York are two places that are prohibitive in terms of their gun laws. And so again, I'm still thinking about upstate New York, Ithaca, but it's just silly. Yeah, I am saying it's silly. It's prohibitive to me to say that you wouldn't be able to have a gun in your house with a silencer for use of home defense, for example. Why do you need a silencer? Well, in the horribly unlikely and awful event, I shouldn't even say that. Fucking home break-ins happen every fucking day. What am I talking about? In the unlikely event that it's going to happen to you, though, somebody comes in your house, do you really want to, if you have to defend yourself, is it just an ugly bonus that you fuck up your hearing? No, that's what silencers are for. Okay, done with guns, sorry. So what I wanted to say specifically, and I'll wrap it up with this, is that of all the states that I've been to, and I don't think there is any where I'm like, well, Ohio kind of now because of Ohio Chernobyl, hashtag Ohio Chernobyl on Twitter, hashtag East Palestine. Still completely fucked up and not being reported on. Amazing. Every state has some appeal to me, like I would consider living there. I'm sorry to say, and I basically always felt this way. I wouldn't live in Colorado. I don't like the vibe. There's something off about it. Even when I visited Phil lives in Denver. My old friend Phil. When I visited Phil in Denver, I remember I was like, this city's cool, but I wouldn't want to live here. But that's just the truth, you know? So big deal. I don't fucking like Colorado. I can fuck right out of here. Big deal. Who cares? Right? I just thought it would be entertaining to you. Was I right? Was I wrong? 25 minutes talking about Colorado. I ended up fucking talking about school shootings and fucking gun laws. God help us all.